The defamation trial between ex-spouses Johnny Depp and Amber Heard has been one of the most watched in history, where all eyes lie in wait for what happens next. What's even more surprising is that TMZ seeks to block Johnny Depp from calling an ex-employee to testify in court. Find out what this means and more in today's video. First up, TMZ is attempting to prevent Johnny Depp from summoning an ex-employee to testify at court. On May 24, TMZ filed an emergency request in Virginia to prevent Johnny Depp from bringing one of its former workers to testify in his defamation case. TMZ filed the move to protect a confidential source who provided the site with a video of Depp raging at ex-wife Amber Heard and slamming cabinets. The jury was shown the video early in the trial. On Wednesday, Depp's camp plans to bring Morgan Tremaine, a former TMZ field assignment manager, as a witness. They haven't said what Tremaine will be quizzed on. The lawyers for TMZ contended that the source's identity should be protected under Virginia law's journalist's privilege. Tremaine's evidence, according to the publication, is immaterial to the matter of whether Depp or Heard defamed one another. During her cross-examination of Heard, Depp's lawyer, Camille Vasquez, argued that she had leaked the film and that the outlet had paid her for it. The actress, on the other hand, refuted this assertion, claiming that she had nothing to do with it. When Heard went to court in May 2016 to obtain a restraining order against Depp, Vasquez suspected that Heard's team had tipped off TMZ. Heard expressed surprise that photographers were present and speculated that it was Depp's divorce lawyer, Laura Wasser, who had tight ties to TMZ. Tremaine had nothing to do with TMZ receiving the footage, according to the request, and any testimony he would give concerning the confidential source would be based on rumor and guesswork. TMZ promised this source that it would maintain their confidentiality and would not disclose their name or other information about them, the outlet's lawyers stated. TMZ makes such promises of confidentiality from time to time so that it may publish information in the public interest, and it relies on the journalist's privilege protecting the identity of confidential sources to do so. The following day, on May 25, TMZ's application was dismissed by Judge Penny Ascarate, who noted that Tremaine is testifying willingly. She also stated that TMZ's concern about the source's secrecy is not germane to the trial, and that TMZ can pursue Tremaine in a separate court for any breach of a non-disclosure agreement. On the afternoon of May 25, Tremaine was called to the stand, but he refused to say anything regarding TMZ's sources. He described receiving an email with a link to the video from the outlet's tip line. He stated it took him approximately 15 minutes to grab it, add TMZ's logo and the distinctive bumper sound, and publish it. He claimed he had no idea who had sent the footage. After seeing the trial, Tremaine said he phoned Depp's legal team 6 days ago. He said that the version of the film shown to the jury was longer than the version received and released by TMZ in 2016, with additional content at the beginning and end. On the day Heard arrived at the Los Angeles County Courthouse in May 2016 to get a domestic violence restraining order against Depp, Tremaine stated he had also dispatched paparazzi photographers. Photographers captured Heard leaving the courthouse with a bruise on her face. Tremaine stated that TMZ had received information that Heard would be present, but he didn't say who had provided the information. He simply mentioned he got the information from a news producer who checked it out to make sure it was true. Now that the trial is over, Amber Heard is left to pay $10.35 million in damages to her ex-husband. But why did she lose the case in the first place? One of the jurors revealed that her crocodile tears made them feel uncomfortable, which led to her downfall. The jury's decision that Heard defamed Depp by making references to her prior allegations of domestic violence in the 2018 Washington Post op-ed was the subject of an exclusive interview with Good Morning America by a jury member from the Johnny Depp-Amber Heard defamation case. With Heard losing that said trial, she is ordered to pay $10.35 million in damages to Depp as a result. One of the 5 male jurors, out of a total of 7, told GMA that Heard's emotional testimony throughout the trial was unrealistic. The crying, the facial expressions that she had, the staring at the jury, all of us were very uncomfortable, the juror revealed in the interview. She would answer one question and she would be crying, and 2 seconds later, she would turn ice cold. Some of us used the expression crocodile tears. The jurors added that many members of the jury thought Depp's answers were generally more credible, and that the actor mainly came out as a touch more genuine in his responses to the questions. He remained emotionally steady the entire time. Heard's side has frequently asserted that social media and the animosity animosity directed at her on websites like TikTok convinced the jury to rule in favor of Depp. Even the most well-intentioned jury, in Heard's opinion, would have been difficult to avoid this, she told NBC News the same week. The juror refuted these claims that they were using social media, asserting that they had listened to the evidence and noting that the bulk of the jury does not use Twitter or Facebook. Others who had it were careful not to discuss it. The juror went on to say that it is true that Depp and Heard were both abusive toward one another. The jurors stated that they did not believe that this rendered either party right or wrong, but that in order for Heard's claims to be taken seriously, there was either little or no evidence to back them. The discovery that Heard had not yet given her $7 million divorce settlement to charity, despite her claims to the contrary, was one fiasco that harmed Heard throughout the trial, according to the jurors. The jury member described how Amber Heard appeared on a British chat show. She is seen in the video telling the host she gave all that money away while sitting there. She used the phrases, "I gave it away, I donated it, it's gone," specifically in the video clip, but the actress didn't give much of it away at all, according to the juror. Heard claimed to have pledged her $7 million settlement to charity and is still determined to do so in the future. She made this statement to NBC News. Despite losing the case, Amber Heard reveals she still loves Johnny Depp and shares her plans on what to do next in a recent interview with NBC News. Heard said that she is scared that no matter what she does, say, or does not say, every move she makes will present another opportunity for this sort of silencing. When asked if she is concerned about being sued once more for defamation by Depp, Guthrie brought up Depp's text message to Heard that she would suffer total global humiliation and asked Heard if she thought that came true. To this, the actress replied that she knows Depp promised it and also admitted how she's not a good, likable, or perfect victim, but she asked the jurors during her testimony to simply hear her as a human and to hear his own words, but it appears that Depp has already delivered his promise of humiliation. Guthrie questioned why Heard, 2 years after her divorce settlement, penned the 2018 Washington Post op-ed hinting at having been the victim of earlier violence. Even though Depp isn't specifically mentioned, it was the center of the slander case. Heard responded by saying that the article wasn't about her friendship with the actor. Her contribution to a larger cultural discourse they were having at the time was the topic of the opinion piece. Heard reiterated her first response when asked if she intended to cancel Depp with the op-ed, insisting that it wasn't about him. When asked about Johnny, Heard responded that she loves him and that she truly loves him. In addition, the actress said that despite her best efforts, she was unable to save a severely damaged relationship. Heard spoke to Guthrie for the first time after the highly publicized trial between her and Depp ended on NBC's Today Show. The verdict of the case, which resulted in both Heard and Depp obtaining compensatory damages, though Depp received much more, was discussed by the two during the interview. Heard spoke of her belief that social media coverage of the trial affected its outcome in the first part of the interview. She denied lying about the alleged abuse she revealed during her testimony, stating she made a lot of mistakes but always stated the truth. The Virginia jury found that both Heard and Depp were guilty of defaming one another during the trial involving Depp and Heard. 3 charges of libel made by the plaintiff Depp and 1 count brought by Heard in her counterclaim were upheld by the jury. Depp was awarded $10 million in compensatory damages and $5 million in punitive damages, the latter of which was lowered to $350,000 in compliance with the state's legal maximum. Heard's counterclaim was settled for $2 million in compensatory damages. And that's everything you need to know about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard's defamation trial. Before you go, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel with the notification bell on. Thanks for watching and see you next time.